Hello, loves. Hello, hello. Phil's here from the Blue Flame. How are we all doing? Whew, that end of May was quite something, wasn't it? I can speak for myself and say it was painful. I had some really intense stuff moving through my sacrum and my right hip. There was a big energy shift, which as we moved through that silver gate of the Aldebaran Sol conjunction and the Sagittarius micro blue moon released. I still have some of the final movements flowing through, and I'm having to be a bit gentle still with myself, even now as I'm speaking with you on the 1st of June. But wow, what a relief it is, and what a relief the month of June is also. Today, Monday, the 1st of June, Mercury slides into the first degree of Cancer, and it brings with it a lovely trifecta of energies in the sign of belonging, of nurturing. We have Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter all playing in this sign. And it just makes you want to, especially after the intensity that we experienced in May. Now, this is not to say that there's not going to be some intensity in June as well, but the way that the current is navigating, the way that it's flowing in this watery sign of the moon, we are being held a little bit more gently, we could say. Now, of course, the sun is still in Gemini, and we'll have on the 14th or 15th, depending on your location, a Gemini super new moon. But before we get there, let's play with some of the energies in the current as we open into this month, shall we? As I mentioned, on the first day of this month, we find Mercury entering the sign of Cancer. Venus is coming ever closer to the big planet Jupiter, and they will meet in their exact conjunction on the 9th of June. And this is really what we're going to be talking about during this update today. But as we flow into it, as we bring ourselves into the marrow, the sign of Cancer is all about our marrow. It's our sign of belonging. It's our ancestral DNA bloodline. So when we are playing with the energy of Cancer, what we're really playing with is the tribe, the place, the family, the country, the collective from which we came. Now, on a soul level, this is also soul groups. This is star groups, star seed lineages, things like this. And we have a lot of alignments in this first week plus a day of the month that are playing with this energy of collective consciousness. So, as mentioned, Mercury enters Cancer on this first day of June. On the second day of June, the sun sextiles, the sun in Gemini still, remember, sextiles Saturn in Aries. Now, this sextile is bringing us into a connection with our foundations. How do we communicate with the places that we belong? Let's feel into this. Let's bring this in a little bit more, shall we? Saturn in Aries will be still conjunct Medusa Also coming into this conjunction is Pallas Athena. So here we have Athena, the cursor of Medusa, and Medusa. And we have in between them the karmic negotiator, Saturn, right? So we can feel that I am arriving here. With this sextile to the sun, we can feel outward presentation, outward expression. So perhaps we can feel also with Mercury coming in now to the sign of belonging and negotiation occurring. A gentle sitting around the hearth, saying, yes, you did this, yes, I did this, but where can we find some common ground? And so as we move through this first week of June, we're reconciling those previously fragmented parts. Now, when we talk about fragmented parts, we are not talking about some soul that came in all broken. What we're talking about is those parts that we disavowed as we were going through this earthly journey because we were told that they were too much or they didn't belong or we were crazy or, all of the stories and narratives of why we might shed a part of ourselves. And here we can feel that conversation between Medusa and Athena as well. On the 4th of June, we will have Mercury coming into a square with Neptune in Aries. So here we have that conciliatory energy, that negotiation energy of Mercury in Cancer, working with the veil lifter, the dream weaver, Neptune. And here we get to play as well because Neptune is in sextile throughout the entirety of the month, really, with Pluto now retrograde, of course, in Aquarius, and the asteroid name for Merlin. The asteroid name for Merlin turned retrograde at 4 degrees of Aquarius during the Sagittarius micro blue moon. So we have this alchemical energy, this capacity to transit through the various stages of the alchemical journey of our incarnation journey, to feel where we shed layers that maybe were things that did belong, and to reclaim them, to find those places and spaces where we remember that we are whole. Merlin is a really, Merlin is getting my eye, a really interesting archetype. And in this transit with Pluto, actually kind of right on top of my natal Merlin, in fact, we are getting to play with the various narratives, the various presentations of Merlin. Merlin as storyteller, Merlin as magician, Merlin as dark magic exhibitor, claimer of powers that are destructive rather than constructive. And the invitation through this cycle, as we move with Merlin at 4 degrees of Aquarius, Merlin will come into the final degrees of Capricorn before turning around again in the fall. And we're going to talk more about that in another update. But it did feel important to call him in, And the invitation here is, as we come to that very, very beatific, beneficial Jupiter-Venus conjunction on the 9th, to start to play with the energies of the alchemist, of the male, the masculine creative principle. We play a lot and we talk a lot about the feminine creative principle. But a lot of times, the masculine expression of creation gets pushed aside. And so part of what we're playing with in this energy is the divine masculine, the masculine that is the whole uniting force with the divine feminine, that place within us where the whole comes together and from that place creates. This is really what the energy of this Jupiter-Venus conjunction is, a lighting for us as well. The conjunction itself will happen on the 9th of June at 25 degrees of Cancer. Now, this means that it's creating an exact T-square with chaotic creation in the form of Eris in Aries and the Arcturus Spica stellar dimensions at 24 degrees of Libra. Now, we've talked before about Arcturus and its capacity as a transit hub. Working with the energy of Arcturus can help us get into some of the deeper karmic and dharmic principles. And it also can help us connect into our soul's journey, not just here on Earth or in human incarnation, which is what Aldebaran is so good at, but rather the entire journey of our soul from the moment of its emergence from source, especially those incarnations that occurred within the Milky Way galaxy and in the Lelaki supercluster, this neighborhood of galaxies that we're in. Spica is more of a calming expression. It invites a shifting to cosmic creation. So we play with these two who, from our astrological, astronomical, earthly point of view, exist at the same degree in the current. We get to play with those energies of from whence I came, from where I go, and the transliminality that is the all. The places where our soul emerged from source, and that sort of all-seeing eye that the non-embodied aspects of our soul in their receiver energetics typify. The day before the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, Monday, the 8th of June, we'll have the Pisces crone moon. I wrote in my notes maiden. I was like, no. It is the Pisces crone moon, and it is in a T-square. The moon in Pisces, the sun in Gemini, with Black Moon Lilith. This opposition between the sun and Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius will be exact during the Jupiter the Jupiter-Venus conjunction the next day. So here we are playing with outward expression in its full manifestation, the sun in Gemini, how we communicate outwardly with the sun there, right? Higher perspectives, higher education, travel, and journeying. With Black Moon Lilith, that primordial feminine energy, that Kundalini energy, right? The moon in Pisces can feel extra ethereal. Extra ethereal. What do we mean by that? The empathic qualities of a Pisces moon are off the charts. And it can be very easy in that transcendent dream-like expression of the moon to lose oneself. It feels like we're experiencing the sun and Black Moon Lilith to help balance this out. The sun helping to connect us with the true expression of ourselves in Gemini, to feel that polarity, that pull in opposite directions that the twins can signify, and to come back home into our center, our place, our home of belonging, that place, that space within our hearts that Cancer is so connected to. That we get this Pisces crone moon the day before the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in Cancer, the sign that rules the moon, or ruled by the moon. We are getting to play with the flow, the cosmic flow, the creative movements. A river cuts through stone. An ocean collapses cliffs, creating the sand. These are movements of creative energy that appear to be destructive. And there's that Merlin shadow again. When we're working with this huge Jupiter energy, combined with the magnetic resonance of Venus, we're playing with that dichotomy, with that duality, with that place, and with Eris right there in square, with that place where what appears in one lens to be destruction, in the other is creation, and vice versa. So the invitation is to explore what you're creating in each moment with your words, the sun in Gemini. What you are creating with your thoughts. How the way that you speak influences the world around you and within you. I had a very powerful journey with this over the last week and a half in particular of May when working with this pain in my sacrum. There was one day where it literally felt like my sacrum was about to snap in half at different moments. It was very intense. And my job in all of it was to be present, to allow what needed to rise up, to let go of trying to fight it, and to allow the pain to move through me like so much grief, stuck, stagnant energy, right? Also, during this Jupiter-Venus conjunction, we will find the Uranus T-square with the nodes beginning. It will be exact on the 12th of June. We find Hecate, guardian of the crossroads, queen of the witches, exactly conjunct the North Node in Pisces. We are opening up to the energies of gathering from where we've been, transiting to where we're going, and experiencing the here and now. Feeling the tendrils that connect in all the various directions. The Hathars, that lovely wholeness energy, so connected to the Pleiades, the seven sisters, to the seven chakras, to unconditional love, to the laws, universal. Will be exactly trying the rose dragons, that beautiful energy of detached service. And part of the invitation through this Jupiter-Venus conjunction with this lovely gifting earthy trine, rose dragons will be in retrograde Capricorn, Hathars Taurus, going forward, is to feel the gifts of your bodily form, the gifts of the generations that came before and the generations that are to come, that flow and connect to that marrow in your bones. To feel how you maybe misjudged some of them. Now, detached service is also connecting us in with that Hecate North Node conjunction, inviting us to feel, what is the work I'm here to do? Remember, Saturn working with Pallas, and on that day also exactly square Mercury in Cancer. This is the 9th of June. What is my Dharma? And how am I meant to express it, to bring it, to gift it, to love it, to nurture it in the world? This might not be the physical work that you do to bring home the quote unquote bacon, but the service work, the true work of your soul. Now, they may be the same. They may have aspects that interlace. They almost definitely do. But feeling what is the service that you are here on earth in this time of Armageddon to perform, to allow to move through you. Part of the reason that we're getting a bit of extra leeway in this energy update for the working with this Jupiter-Venus conjunction is so that we can really wish upon those stars. Over the next couple of days, if you watch the sunset and then stay as the blue hour begins, you will notice popping in beautiful display Mercury, Sirius, Venus, and Jupiter, with Venus and Jupiter coming closer and closer together, and Mercury and Sirius doing the same. It's a wonderful meditative experience to sit there and to truly wish upon these stars, to open to the great benefact Jupiter, to the magnetic resonance of Venus, to that gifting expression, communicative through all of the dimensions of Mercury, all in the sign of heart flame, of belonging, of marrow, of DNA, Cancer. In some schools, it's actually said that Cancer is the sun sign of the earth. It is the sign that the earth was born in. You could play with that as well. The IC of the wheel, our fourth house in astrology, is represented by Cancer. Now, everyone has their fourth house, their IC, in a different place. You know, it moves, is what we're saying. The clock face shifts, but the energetic template, whether your IC is in Sagittarius, Pisces, Leo, Capricorn, Aquarius, the energetic template that it's playing with is Cancer. It is that deepest part where you really ask yourself, where do I belong? To what do I belong? And so as you're moving this next week plus a day in meditation with these energies of Jupiter and Venus in this sign, perhaps that can be the place that you play. And look at your chart and see, where does your IC exist? And this can help you also to connect more with how it moves through you. Looking at the house that Cancer is in could also be quite beneficial. For me personally, I'll share that this Venus-Jupiter conjunction is happening almost exactly on my midheaven. Talk about dharmic work, right? It's pretty fun. My Saturn's just on the other side of the midheaven there too. So there's a lot moving for myself personally over here in Hills Land. One of the things that I'll be doing during this conjunction is creating a new tea blend for the apothecary. And it is a really powerful conjunction for energetically requesting for alchemical collaboration. So if you are called to a moon dance or a sunset dance, even better. If you're called to make a spray, or if you work with crystals and you're called to put them out, allowing them to soak up some of this energy would be super, super, super powerful. It might be a day for collaborations as well. So if you're looking for a really beautiful time to gather family together, if you're looking for a beautiful time for connecting with old friends or lovers, if you're looking for a time to reconcile, this period as we approach that conjunction is really good for that, especially depending on what you might have. If you're transforming the work that you do in the world in any way or form, a powerful conjunction for that. For calling in, for requesting guidance on your soul mission, this is a very powerful time, especially with all that Arcturus spica energy. If you're called to a one-on-one with me where we can deep dive into your chart, into your Akashic records, into your soul journey, there's links below. You can request a consult. We also have some really yummy offerings in the community space, that outer area, the atrium of the Blue Flame Apothecary, as well as, of course, the amazing community space of the inner sanctum, where there's meditations, frequency transmissions, master classes, and all kinds of yummy stuff on offer. Feel in for yourself if any of that calls. It would be amazing to welcome you. Also, if you're called, leave a comment below. It would be wonderful to share with you in that way, to witness you, perhaps even something that you are connecting to as we move into this Jupiter-Venus conjunction. Before we close, how about a little light activation? You're welcome to keep your eyes open or to close them, allowing your focus and your intent and your breath to move into your heart. Feel it expanding, to feel it opening up, to feel a soft pink rose quartz frequency of light expanding around your entire heart space, flowing in connection with your root and your crown, as you are encompassed now, your entire etheric field, your entire auric field, your entire physical being in a soft pink expression of love. You're invited to bubble wrap, shrink wrap yourself in that soft pink glow as you move through the rest of your day, week, and beyond. Thank you for sharing in this journey with me and all of the ways that you share in this journey with me. And as always, in the always, so much and many loves to you from the dimensions of the all and beyond, beyond.